frustrating? Not for Duke. Look what the Florida coach said after the loss to Duke. Does this reaffirm Duke's dominance in the game and the season? Let's see what's new. Duke's 67-66 victory over Florida last Tuesday night was one of those games that helps define a season. Not only because of the close score, decided with 21 seconds left by Isaiah Evans' three-pointer, but also because of the symbolic weight of what was built on the court and, above all, the almost inevitable tone of respect that shone through in the opposing coach's words after the game. When the Florida coach publicly admits that to win in Durham, they need to play 10 points above Duke, that's not an excuse, it's recognition of greatness. The game began with Florida dominating, reaching halftime with a 12-point lead. It was the kind of scenario that would put any team under enormous pressure. Duke, however, didn't collapse. They returned from the locker room with a more intense attitude, adjusted their defense, closed gaps, changed their offensive reads, and, play by play, built their comeback. The second half was a battle of nerves. Florida played at a very high level, winning rebounds in the final period and having consistent offensive production, but still couldn't escape. Duke resisted. And resisting at this level is also dominating. At the center of this confrontation was Cameron Boozer, who finished equaling Thomas Hawes' score and was treated by Florida's own coach as what he already is, a special talent. Boozer forced adjustments, attracted defenders, and impacted the game even when his path was blocked in the second half by Ruben Chinielu's strong defense. Still, Duke found alternatives. Patrick Ngongba, too, appeared with improbable three-pointers in the first half. Evans, discreet throughout the night, appeared exactly when the game demanded personality. The final three-pointer wasn't just a converted shot. It was confirmation that Duke has depth, composure, and players ready to take responsibility in the most critical moment. The script for the end was cruel for Florida and surgical for Duke. Todd Golden gambled on Boogie Fland, who had been decisive, but a ball-handling error with 2 seconds left was enough to seal the story. Even with a missed free throw by Duke, there wasn't time for a final opposing attempt. Cameron Indoor Stadium exploded, once again as a territory where details matter most, pressure multiplies, and the margin for error is practically non-existent. Golden's post-game statements further reinforced the magnitude of what Duke represents at this point in the season. By stating that his team played the best basketball of the year, had an elite second half, and still suffered a defeat, the Florida coach clearly outlines the level of demand that a matchup against Duke imposes. He acknowledged the atmosphere, the quality of the roster, praised Boozer, admitted that his defense had to reinvent itself to try to contain the strength of the blue team, and even then, it wasn't enough. When Golden says that Duke is now among the 2 or 3 best teams in the country, it doesn't sound like rhetoric. It sounds like a statement of fact. And when he states that nothing comes easy in that arena, not even the referee's calls, the subtext is even more evident. Beating Duke at home requires a perfect, almost flawless performance, something his team, despite their efforts, couldn't sustain for 40 minutes. Florida's frustration also helps to highlight the value of Duke's victory. A team that sought the game, turned the score around, took the lead at the end, fought for every rebound, and still lost by a small margin. This doesn't diminish Duke, on the contrary, it amplifies the magnitude of the challenge they overcame. In games like this, you don't win with talent alone. You win with emotional control, game reading, the ability to suffer, and, above all, with the conviction that the decisive moment belongs to those who don't hide. With Jon Scheyer, Duke has been building exactly that identity. A team that doesn't fall apart when pressured, that accepts physical games, that grows in the second half, and that has shown, round after round, that it is prepared for very high-level games. The victory over Florida wasn't just another result on the calendar. It was a silent, yet powerful, statement about the project's consistency, the precocious maturity of its young talents, and its collective ability to make decisions. The opposing coach left proud of his own team, but also with a clear certainty. Facing Duke today is measuring forces with one of the greatest powers in college basketball today. And winning, especially in Durham, remains one of the most thankless tasks in the sport. Florida almost succeeded. Duke once again showed why it rarely allows that to happen. And do you think Duke is doing well? Comment.